Management at National Institute of Technical Teacher Training and Research, Chandigarh. I joined this institution in 1992 after working for about 2.5 years in industries and 7 years in a college of education, and became professor in 2011. I'm presently heading the academic cell of this institute, which is responsible for admission and examination of ME and PhD program in engineering and technology. I'm also working as Central Public Information Officer under RTI Act of 2005. Since 2005, I have already guided 28 PhD dissertation registered with Punjab University Chandigarh, and have contributed about 40 papers in international and national journals, and have contributed 4 books in the area of education technology. Now coming to today's very important session. Friends, 3 basic skills are very essential for personal growth. You will agree with me. One is observation. Observation is to be active and alive. That is just happening within you as well as outside world, with an open mind. Second very important skill is listening, which is a process of using our eyes, mind and ears in order to understand the literal as well as the hidden message of what the speaker is attempting to convey. And the third most important skill is the reading, which is a process of using our eyes and mind to grasp the literal as well as the hidden message of what the author is attempting to convey. Reading, you see, is a process of coming in contact with the minds of millions of wise men and women, both dead or alive, who have contributed their experience for the benefit of the reader or the audience. And reading has an edge over both observation and listening, and it contributes to personal growth and development. Why then reading skill is needed? You see, as an efficient shopper, we never enter one shop that comes on our way and start shopping. What we do, we make a plan at home, we make a list of articles we want to purchase, and with our previous shopping experience, we you see decide 1 or 2 shops. On entering that particular shop, we know where the groceries are lying, where the stationaries are lying, or where the other articles are available. Or sometimes you find in the store itself there are directions given to the shoppers. Then we say want to purchase a particular notebook, we enter the location where stationaries are lying. Then we know at this point the pens are there, the notebooks are lying on the right hand side. We go near to the notebook shelf, and we choose a particular notebook we wish to purchase. So selection procedures are adopted by an efficient shopper. Likewise, selection procedures are adopted by an efficient reader. He does not just pick up a book and start reading. He has an objective in his mind. He knows how to locate a particular book, because you see in the library you will find 5 to 6 books available on a particular topic, and you have to select one topic or one particular book. So what is the procedure? Likewise, you have to say read a specific article, then you need to employ a particular reading method. So there are a variety of reading methods. So an efficient reader always match his objective with the you can say type of reading. So reading is a very crucial skill, and one must learn to read in order to read to learn. So this session is about reading skill, and we will have focus on, firstly, what do we read? Why do we read? Then how do effective readers read? Then ways of reading. There are varieties of methods of reading available, skills of reading, and how to design reading skills and reading activities. We will have one or two reading activities. Yes, yes. Now, now coming to what do we read? You see, we read calendars, addresses, phone books, name cards, bank statements, credit cards, maps, anecdotes, weather forecast, pamphlets. We read product labels, washing instructions, short stories, novels, plays, poems, handbooks. We read close size labels or children's scribbling, informal letters, business letters, rules, regulations, electronic mails, fax messages, junk mail, postcards, greeting cards, comic books, newspapers, diplomas, application forms, and so many things we read every day. And we never employ a particular reading method. We use different reading method in order to make use of the time available in a very productive manner. Basically, there are two broad purposes of reading. One is, of course, reading for pleasure. That is when we are reading a novel or we are reading a newspaper. We are reading for pleasure, and we read at our own pace, and we read at the comfort of our own, you can say, time or at place. And the second, the basic, you can say, uh, the purpose of reading is reading for information. That is when we study some material, or when we pursue some program, and our purpose is to acquire information and then to carry out necessary activities. Now, friends, as I told you, reading is a skill. It involves use of eyes and mind, as I have already discussed. It involves sequencing of eye movements from left to right. Okay, decoding. That is, the words are given, and the words are decoded. We then read those words. We encode, utilizing linguistic awareness. That is knowledge about language. Demands knowledge of orthography. Orthography refers to science or study of spellings, and integrates letters, words, sentences, passages with past experience. You see, when we read some material, and that material is, you can say, illustrated with examples from a reader's past experiences, then while reading, it will promote meaningful learning. When the text is very abstract and it is not, you can say, followed with relevant examples, then it creates, you can say, confusion in the mind of the reader. So a good book is one which contains concepts or principles followed by relevant examples. So we try to relate with examples which we already have in our long-term memory. It's a matter of learning to perceive the potential meaning in the written message, and then relating the perceived potential meaning to the cognitive structure which we already have in our mind, so as to comprehend it. Now, let us see what to read. As a student, we never read only textbooks. We also read periodicals, journal articles, reference books, and we first of all look at the title, page, the preface or the foreword or the introduction describes the purpose of that particular publication. We also look at the author's credential, whether the author has you can say command over that particular subject, and to which institution he belongs, whether the author has been referred by our good teacher. The date and place of publication is also very important. You see, say you are studying in a field where the things are changed very rapidly and the book is say 10 years old, then we must look at book which is of recent you can say publication. Likewise, place of publication, you see many case studies, many management books written by foreign authors, they deal with the situation in their own country, and we are say reading something for our country, so we need to look at the place of publication, whether the book is from Indian continental or not. Likewise, footnotes and bibliography, so whether the author has referred recent publication or not. So we quickly look at the title, the foreword, the content page, etc. And how to read in the most effective way. Skilled readers vary their reading speed and method to suit both the material they are reading and their purpose in reading it. Suppose you want to select one book out of 5 books available. You look at the title page, the table of contents or the author's credential, and try to find out whether the information you are looking for is available in the particular text or not. Then you select one. Suppose you wish to look at your own result. What you do? You first of all scan the result which is given either roll number wise or it is given name wise, and the result is always given in alphabetical order. Okay, we scan for our name quickly, and after having reached our name, we read the content given against name very carefully, very systematically, so that we have not made we don't make any mistake. Okay, so it means sometimes you employ skimming, sometimes you employ scanning, sometimes you read very systematically, sometimes you read word by word, sometimes you read for pleasure only. And accordingly, there are 5 types of reading skills. Now, how do effective readers read? He or she has a clear purpose in reading, that I am reading for this purpose. So if you don't have any purpose of reading a particular book, then you are wasting your own time. First of all, try to note down that this is my purpose. I am looking for answers to these questions, and then you pick up a book and try to find out answers to those questions. Secondly, you read silently. Okay, you are not reading out aloud, because when you are reading out loud, your reading skill will decrease. When you are reading silently, your reading speed will be much more, and I'll let you know how you can calculate your own reading speed. Read phrase by phrase rather than word by word, because if the vocabulary is very simple and you are familiar with the vocabulary, then you read phrase by phrase. But if you are learning a new language, or you are learning equation, or you are deriving mathematical derivations, then you read word by word. So you have to see the uh, the purpose of your reading. You concentrate on important bits, you skim the rest and skip the insignificant parts. You don't read everything. What you do, you outline with a pen or pencil on the textbook, you highlight the certain portion, so that you need not again read the insignificant portion again and again, and you will read the significant portion only. Use different speeds and strategies for different reading tasks, as I have just mentioned. There could be skimming, there could be scanning, there could be word by word, there could be systematic reading. You perceive the information in the target language rather than you mentally translate. Okay, and you guess the meaning of new words from the context and try to ignore others. always have a small dictionary with you when you are reading a newspaper or you are reading some text, so that you will be able to understand the meaning of you can say difficult words, and try to use those words in day-to-day life, so that you can develop your vocabulary also, and have and use background information to help understand the text. Now coming to how much do you know about good reading strategies, there is a small you can say quiz, so you can either answer as true or false. You must always read every word in the chapter or you will not understand it. So false, because effectively skimming the chapter works for some text and is often more you can say time effective. If you read too fast, you will lose some of your comprehension. Again, it is false, because there is no known link, and comprehension comes from being able to pull off pull out important information. And next is taking notes on reading lengthens the reading process. Again, you can say it is false, because in this way you are able to highlight the important points, and you will need not read again and again that insignificant portion, so you are saving your time. Now coming to the types of reading, as I told you that if you want to select one book out of 4 or 5 books available in the library, or you want to purchase one book from market, and market has so many books available, so you employ skimming as a reading method. So skimming provides you the gist of the reading material, and for finding information quickly, uh, first of all, look at the table of contents, and then you study that this is okay or not, because you have your purpose in your mind why you want to read. You have got some questions in your mind, you want answers for that, so you first of all have a look at the table of contents. Sometimes some information is not available in the table of contents, then at the end of the book you will find index which is given in an alphabetical order, and you try to try to locate a particular you can say information, say about the meaning of dyslexia, because if the book is about say problem children, then the meaning of dyslexia, so you quickly go through the index, and then you can find out whether the content is available or not. Subheadings in the text, you open one chapter and have a look at the subheadings in the chapter, and then chapter summaries you read, because every chapter has a summary, or sometimes it is given in the beginning itself the learning outcomes, and from there itself you are able to find out the purpose of that particular chapter. You also read first paragraph, last paragraph, or first line or last line of each paragraph, figures and diagrams, and in this way you are able to make decision whether this book is of any relevance to me, or I need not read the book. Likewise, uh, in a periodical, what we do, we look at the summary or the abstract, which is always given at the beginning. Suppose you want to pursue some PhD program and you have to carry out literature survey. So skimming is a best method. What you do, you read the summary, and you read how the investigator has carried out this research, which tools he has employed, what are the findings, okay. And if the abstract, the information is relevant to you select that particular article and you try to read the complete article at a later stage. So you look at the summary, then you also have a look at the subheadings, the first and last paragraph, figures and diagrams, and then you decide, after doing this activity, you decide whether the book or periodical is suitable or not suitable, decide that certain sections are appropriate to your needs, and decide that you need to read all of it at a later stage. Skimming has got various levels. The lowest level is the previewing, that is giving the book a general look. Okay, so for this, what you do, you look at a total book or article to get a general idea of what the book contains, and for this you scan the material to see what lies ahead. Consider the difficulty and plan your time accordingly. And read the title. For this, read the name of the author, you read the date of publication, place of publication, and you look at the table of contents. After this, after selecting a particular book, then you do the reviewing, that is giving a so not reviewing, overviewing, that is giving a closer look. So for giving a closer look, you read the preface, the introduction, or the foreword, because this will provide you the purpose of that publication. Then you look at section, chapter titles, headings within chapter, and concluding chapter. And the last stage is surveying, that is giving a closest look. And for this, you read the first paragraph of the chapter, you read the first sentence of each succeeding paragraph, final paragraph, and formulate questions when you read the material. And in this way, you are able to select a particular book which you wish to read uh, at a later stage. Now coming to the second type of reading, it is called as scanning. Scanning means searching for specifics. As I gave you the example of finding out your own result in the list. So you scan for your name first, then after having reached your name, you read the content given against your name carefully. Okay. Likewise, you want to know the meaning of some word in a dictionary. Some cues are given, that is the dictionary gives you alphabetical information. So you reach that particular location, and then you try to read the meaning of that particular word quickly. So what you are doing scanning. So to scan, first of all, you have to identify your purpose. You have to define what you are looking for. Okay. Then you decide what clues will help you find the information. Now suppose you want to find out the uh, time of a particular train. So the clue is that the time is available in the form of timetable. Railway timetable is available. Okay. So you decide what clues, and then use the form in which the information is presented. So maybe time wise, maybe date wise, maybe alphabetically the information is provided. So while scanning articles in magazines and chapters in books, let your eyes move rapidly over the pages, searching for the specific information you need. Now you have a book. Okay, this book is on education technology. Now if I ask you how many times the technology word technology is appearing in chapter 1, what you do, you go through that chapter and try to find out the word technology appearing in various paragraphs, and you count those. This is nothing but doing scanning only. Okay, so you are searching for specifics, and after that you apply your mind and then read the meaning of that particular word very carefully. So scanning is searching for specifics. Skimming is getting the gist of the material. So these two things are necessary for, you can say, identifying the information quickly. After that, you can read it systematically. Okay. Now let me give you another example. I am giving you 3 questions. Okay. You first of all identify the key elements. Now first is, who discovered the atom? So key element here is atom. Okay. When was Napoleon defeated? The key word is Napoleon. How many people live in Africa? The key word is Africa. Now you can also identify the additional cues. Now in the first case, additional cue is name. Who discovered the atom? The key element is atom. Who discovered? So the form of answer is name. When was Napoleon defeated? Napoleon is the key element, and the form of answer is date. Okay. And then third is, how many people live in Africa? Africa is key element, and another additional cue is number. Okay, so you read the material and you will be able to find out the respective answers very quickly. Another exercise, you are given the learning material, and I can ask you, are bibliographies given at the end? So what do? You look at the uh, end page of every chapter and find out the word bibliography. Okay, so you are scanning. On what page does the subheading skimming appear? Likewise, I gave you an example of technology. How many times is the word scanning mentioned in the section on scanning? So you are scanning for that particular information. So this is scanning. Next is reading to study. It's a systematic approach to reading. So this we will learn at the end of the reading methods, because it requires a detailed study. Then another is light or casual reading, or sit back reading, you can say, and the purpose is pleasure. Okay, so background information you read very quickly. Okay, you say you are scanning, or you are looking at the newspaper, you are simply looking at the tight heading of the you can say some of the news. Complex material you read very slowly, and comics, sport pages, editorials you read simply for enjoyment. So sit back reading. Another is word by word reading. This is required in case of learning a new language, mathematics, chemical equation, etc. For example, when I say Na2 NaCl plus H2SO4 will give to you Na2SO4 plus you can say CO2 plus water. Okay, so you are reading word by word. Likewise, mathematical formulas you read word by word. Okay, the ability to read a line of print depends upon familiarity with the material. If you are very much familiar with the text, you read very quickly. In one glance, you can read number of words. Okay, for example, a stitch in time saves 9. So you can read very fast. But when I give you this very difficult word, what you do? Your eyes have to dissect. Okay, so you give pause and then you read, like methoxyhemoglobinemia. Okay, because this word is not you can say very much familiar to you, so your eyes have to dissect the bigger word into smaller you can say pieces. So this is word by word reading, which is required in case of learning a new language, or reading the chemical equations, or making mathematical derivations, etc. Now choose a reading method. I'll give you one example. Question: looking at a book in a shop and deciding whether to buy it. Yes, which method you will employ? The first method, that is skimming. You will employ skimming. Skimming is getting the gist of material. For this, what you do? You look at the title page, you look at the author's credential, you look at the table of contents, and you have some purpose in your mind, and whether the information to your purpose is available in the book or not, you make a decision at the end. So reading a novel, it is light reading, pleasure reading. Okay, looking up the meaning of a word in a dictionary, first you employ scanning, then you read systematically. First of all, you scan for that particular word, and then after having reached that particular location, you read the meaning of that particular word very carefully, very slowly. Then reading the instructions for assembling a model. Which reading method is employed? Yes, word by word, because you are trying to assemble some product, so you have to read word by word. Then finding the meaning of dyslexia in a book on reading problems. Again, first of all, you will employ scanning, followed by detailed reading. Okay, studying for a history examination from a textbook, systematic approach to reading. Okay, so these are some of the examples. Now let us come to the technique of systematic reading, and the formula is called as SQ3R. S stands for surveying, Q stands for questioning, first R is reading, second R is you can say recalling, and then reviewing. Third R is reviewing. So an efficient reader always read the information in a systematic way. So this is systematic way. First is survey, S. So it means survey gives a general impression of the type of book you are reading. For this particular survey, you must have purpose of reading that particular thing. Why you are going to read a particular article or particular book? It means purpose is always with you. So for this, you look at the title page of the book, look at the author's credential, you look at the date of first publication, date of present edition, read the preface, introduction, foreword. As I told you, this gives the purpose of publication. You look at the contents page, that is you look at the table of content and try to find out whether the information which you want to have is available in those pages, or chapter headings, pictures, graphs, and to try to familiarize yourself with the index also. Sometimes the table of content does not give a specific information, then you look at the index which is given at the end of a publication. So quickly you can find out, and because index is always given in alphabetical order. And you should not spend more than 5% of your total reading time on surveying. So it means you are selecting a particular reading material by using surveying. Second is questioning. Ask yourself what you expect to gain from this book. It means before reading you already have some questions in your mind. And when you are reading also, you are also formulating certain questions. Why the author has written this thing? And you are also trying to find the answer at later pages, because the author has given the question, author has written in this way, and the justification is also given. Why are you reading the book? What points are you particularly interested in? Turn all of the headings into questions. Okay, write out questions and speculate answers before reading. Questions not only before reading but during reading also, you also prepare. And you should not spend more than 5% of total time on questioning. Now coming to the third stage, that is reading. So what you do, you look for major ideas, relationships, you look at examples, diagrams, illustrations, etc., and try to understand the author's point of view. You also focus on answering your questions as you read, because while reading also you are formulating certain questions, you come across certain doubts, and make use of labeling, underlining, margin notes, summary notes, or points, because when you are reading you are highlighting the main points with a pen. Okay, you are indicating with tick marks, because after reading this material, sometimes after 2 months, 3 months, you have to read it again. Then you will need not read the whole chapter. You will focus on the highlighted portion. So this will help you save your important time. वो आज से बहुत साल पहले की बात होती थी जब हम कहते थे ये बच्चे की कॉपी बुक कितनी साफ सुथरी है, राइट? तो आज के ज़माने में क्या है कि जिसकी बुक सबसे गंदी है, मीन्स उसने राइट साइड में, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में मार्जिन नोट्स लिखे हुए हैं, बिकॉज you don't read one book, you have one book, you go to library, you find another book, main points you can note down on your first book which you have got. Okay, so in this way you are saving your own time. So you spend 50% of the total time. And a good reader always, first of all, read the whole chapter first, then close the book. Okay, try to recall what was included in the chapter, and then he will open the book again, try to find out which things he could not recall correctly. लेकिन आज के बच्चे क्या करते हैं, पहला पैराग्राफ पढ़ा, बिफोर मूविंग टू द सेकंड पैराग्राफ वो पहले पैराग्राफ को फिर दोबारा से पढ़ते हैं. So it means they are not understanding the meaning of the material. They are just trying to remember they are just trying to rote memorize the material. Okay. So the fourth stage is recall, restate. It involves trying to recall all the main ideas. आप क्या करेंगे? पढ़ लिया, 50% टाइम दे दिया, बुक को बंद कर दीजिए, एक कागज रखिए अपने पास, ट्राई टू रिकॉल, रीस्टेट कौन कौन से पॉइंट्स थे. ओके. एंड बेस्ट ईदर टू रिसाइट देम अलाउड और टू राइट देम आउट इन नोट फॉर्म विदाउट लुकिंग एट योर बुक और नोट्स, यानी उसको बंद कर दीजिए. सो स्केच इन योर ओन वर्ड्स द मेन पॉइंट्स ऑफ द रीडिंग. सो यू स्पेंड 30% ऑफ द टोटल टाइम. सो 5% आपने सर्वे के लिए लगाए, 5% आपने क्वेश्चनिंग के लिए लगाए, 50% आपने जो है इसको रीडिंग के लिए लगाया, and then you spend 30% of the time to recall, to restate. Now the last stage is review, very important. So look back over the chapter and check that your recall was correct, which points you could not recall correctly. Okay, so you spend 10% of the total time. अगर बच्चे इस तरह से पढ़ेंगे, मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि वो चैप्टर जो है वो उसको मीनिंगफुली उसका मटेरियल को ग्रास्प कर पाएंगे. सो दिस इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रीडिंग टाइप, सिस्टेमेटिक अप्रोच टू रीडिंग. सो देयर आर यू कैन से 5 स्टेजेस. फर्स्ट स्टेज मैंने क्या बोला? SQ3R फार्मूला, उसे याद रखिए. SQ3R, सर्वेइंग, क्वेश्चनिंग, रीडिंग, रिकॉलिंग, रिव्यूइंग. ओके. तो पहले आपने मटेरियल को सेलेक्ट किया, रीडिंग मटेरियल को सर्वे किया, आपके माइंड में कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं, उसके लिए आप उसको पढ़ेंगे, देखेंगे वो क्वेश्चंस हैं, टेबल ऑफ कंटेंट्स वगैरह देखेंगे. ओके. देन यू आर रीडिंग, यू आर सर्चिंग फॉर द सॉल्यूशन टू दोज क्वेश्चंस, you are also formulating new questions, trying to find out the answer to those questions. Then close the book, then try to recall, and then open the book again and try to find out which portion you could not recall correctly or which you have failed to recall. Okay, so this is systematic approach to reading. Now, principles of effective reading. Avoid वोकलाइजेशन और लिप रीडिंग. कुछ बच्चे जो है बोलकर रीड करते हैं, जैसे कहते हैं अवॉइड वोकलाइजेशन और लिप रीडिंग, क्योंकि जब आप बोलकर पढ़ते हो, आप उसकी साउंड सुन रहे हो, तो दैट विल नॉट सेव योर टाइम. इट मीन्स यू आर स्पेंडिंग टू मच टाइम. इसी तरह कई बच्चे लिप रीडिंग करते हैं, जैसे अगेन आपका टाइम जो है वो कंज्यूम हो रहा है. तो अगर आप साइलेंटली उसको पढ़ते हो, विदाउट गले में कोई नॉइज क्रिएट किए, विदाउट आप बोलकर, तो यू आर एबल टू रीड वेरी फास्ट. ओके. इवन यू कैन ऑल्सो फाइंड आउट योर रीडिंग स्पीड. कैसे आप कर सकते? एक पैराग्राफ ले लीजिए, उस पैराग्राफ में सबसे पहले आप नंबर ऑफ वर्ड्स काउंट कीजिए, रीड दैट पैराग्राफ, नोट डाउन द टाइम यू टुक for reading that paragraph in second. So number of words dividing by time in second, multiply by 60, so that will give you reading speed, words per minute. Okay, so you can find out, and you will find that the material with which you are quite familiar, that takes less time to read as compared to the difficult material or the or the new material with which you are not comfortable or you are not familiar. Avoid using any sport while reading. You might have seen some students, they keep one pen with them, और से ये उंगली को भी ऐसे पढ़ते हैं, ऐसे यहाँ एक स्केल रख लेते हैं, ये they read one sentence first, then they go to second. Again, that will decrease your reading speed. Avoid regression. Regression का मतलब क्या होता है? आपने पहला पैराग्राफ पढ़ा, before going to the second paragraph you are again reading the first paragraph. Okay, so बच्चों को हमने ये समझाना है कि पहले आप एक ही टाइम में एक चैप्टर पढ़ लीजिए, उसको बंद कर दीजिए. Try to recollect what was included in that chapter. Again, open the book and try to find out which things you could recall correctly and which things you have failed to recall. So avoid regression. Set your purpose, set your expectation. Only then you will be able to find the meaning of the material. Always have purpose in your mind. Why you are reading this book? What type of answers I need for various questions? Okay. Then examine the validity of the source. Very important. You see, today in today's context, many students read the material which is available in the net, and sometimes the material is not relevant and it is misleading. Likewise, there are some cheap books available in the market. So you have to see the credential of the author, and you can also consult your teacher about a particular publication, whether the book is valid or not, and be selective and critical when you read. Don't read all types of books. So you have to be selective. Out of these three books, I will read only this book. And be critical. Why author has said in this way, and what could be the possible answers to these questions. And train your eyes for increasing your eye span. अपने आई स्पैन को इंक्रीज कैसे कर सकते हो? अब देखिए, मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं. मैं अपने पास एक स्वीट बॉक्स लेके आता हूं और आपको बोलता हूं, इन वन ग्रास पिक आउट एज मच एज यू कैन डू. तो व्हाट यू डू, आप इस हाथ को ऐसे एक्सटेंड करेंगे और जितनी उठानी चाहेंगे उठाएंगे. लाइकवाइज ग्रीडिंग जो लुक है वो हमने अपनी आईज में पैदा करनी है. जैसे मेरा बॉस उधर बैठा हुआ है एंड लेटर इज लाइंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ हिम, और मैं आंखें फाड़ के देखता हूँ कि भी उसमें क्या लिखा हुआ है, टू मेक आउट कि भी मेरा वहां नाम लिखा है, क्या मेरा रिकमेंडेशन. ऐसा करते हैं ना, करते हैं ना. सो इसको हाउ टू इंक्रीज योर आई स्पैन, मैं जस्ट एक एक्सरसाइज आपके सामने रखता हूँ. जस्ट सी, ये कुछ मैंने सेंटेंसेस या वर्ड्स लिखे हुए हैं, एंड यू विल फाइंड question. First word is question and it has got 8 letters. Think hard, it has got 10 letters. आप एक स्केल ले लीजिए, ओके, ओपेक स्केल. पहले आप क्वेश्चन के नीचे रखिए. विदाउट मूविंग योर आई बॉल्स ट्राई टू रीड द वर्ड. आपने लेफ्ट राइट आई बॉल को मूव नहीं करना. सो आप पहले क्वेश्चन के नीचे रखा, देन उसके नीचे ले आओ, फिर आप देखो कहां तक आप जाते हो. सो अगर आप 28 तक इन वन गो चले जाते हो, इट मींस आपकी जो है आई स्पैन बहुत ज्यादा है. अगर आप से 16 तक रहते हो, आपको डेवलप करनी, यू हैव टू फोकस. ओके, तो यू हैव टू इंप्रूव योर आई स्पैन. Then next is other principles of effective reading are: make an outline of the important points. Always have a pen or pencil with you. Highlight. आपने मार्जिन नोट्स बना लिए. आप जब हाईलाइट कर रहे हो तो आपके माइंड में कुछ क्वेश्चन आता है, तो यू कैन नोट डाउन दैट क्वेश्चन आल्सो, कि यहाँ पर ये क्वेश्चन इसने व्हाई ही हैज रिटन इन दिस वे. ओके, अंडरलाइन सब्जेक्ट्स, वर्ब्स, इंपॉर्टेंट हेडिंग्स. grasp the total meaning of the what you have read by locating the most important ideas. Use basic skills of skimming and scanning. कुछ पोर्शन को आप स्किप कर दीजिए, कुछ को आप स्कैन कर दीजिए भी कौन सा इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे क्विकली चाहिए, क्योंकि हर बार आप पूरी बुक को पढ़ेंगे एग्जामिनेशन में जाने से पहले, तो इट टेक्स यू सो मच टाइम. लेकिन जब आपने उसको हाईलाइट किया हुआ है, you will read only the relevant portion at that moment. So you are not wasting your time in reading the whole chapter again and again. You read at least half an hour a day. अगर आप पढ़ते हैं एटलीस्ट डेली हैबिट बनानी चाहिए, उससे आपकी रीडिंग स्पीड इंक्रीज होगी और साथ में आपकी वोकेबुलरी भी इंक्रीज होगी. You are reading a newspaper and you have found some difficult words given. Have a pocket dictionary with you. आजकल तो मोबाइल में डिक्शनरी है. Try to find out the meaning of that particular word and note down those difficult words on a piece of paper. Suppose after reading newspaper for about 30 minutes, you have come across with say 20 words, difficult words. So try to use those 20 words in today or next day. In this way you will be able to increase your vocabulary. Then always read the chapter that will be covered before class. It is very essential. और टीचर को भी चाहिए कि कल हमने जो पढ़ाना है वो आज ही अनाउंस कर दें. मुझे याद है अपनी डॉटर का, मैंने उसको शाम को 5 बजे पूछा, मैं कहा बेटे तूने तो कहा था होमवर्क कर लिया, व्हाट आर यू रीडिंग नाउ? शी सेड पापा मैम ने कहा ये चैप्टर घर से पढ़ के आना, ये मैं कल करवाऊंगी. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि बच्चा जब एक बार पढ़ लेगा, वोकेबुलरी से वो अपने आप को फेमिलियराइज कर रहा है, तो नेक्स्ट डे जब टीचर क्लास में पढ़ाएगा तो टीचर को पढ़ाना आसान है और स्टूडेंट्स को लर्न करना भी कितना आसान है. सो ऑलवेज ट्राई टू इन्फॉर्म द स्टूडेंट्स अबाउट ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन कि कल हमने क्या पढ़ने हैं. एंड फाइंड ए क्वाइट प्लेस टू स्टडी. ट्राई टू एलिमिनेट द डिस्ट्रैक्शंस लाइक से चैटर, रेडियो. Some are internal fears, worries, etc. कई बार मन में होता है and we are not able to concentrate on anything else. Okay. Then be positive. Reading can be enjoyable. It will not give you any stress. Make the author your companion. Criticize unnecessary ना करें. अगर उसने लिखा है इसका मतलब उसका आंसर, उसने solution भी उसका साथ में दिया होगा. Pace yourself according to difficulty level. If the material is very difficult, abstract, read slowly. If the material is very simple and you are already familiar with, you can quickly go through. Okay. Read other sources if the assigned reading is confusing. If you are not able to understand the meaning of the material, try to locate another book or try to go to web. You will find other easy, you can say, text available. Keep building your vocabulary. As I told you, always have a pocket dictionary along with you. So make it a habit. So please inform your students that they should have one pocket size dictionary with them. So this will help them develop their vocabulary. When studying for a test, skill readings for key points and terms. वो ऑलरेडी आपने हाईलाइट किए हुए हैं, उनको आप छोड़ दीजिए. Now notes in a notebook. How to create a chapter map. आपने जैसे पूरा चैप्टर पढ़ लिया, इसलिए आपने एक पेज के ऊपर इसको कंसोलिडेट कर रहा है. How you can do it? Because this will help you avoid reading again and again. See title of the chapter, then these are the chapter subheadings. Okay, then these are further, that is you have analyzed the topic into its constituent parts. So you have done nothing but task analysis. Task analysis is nothing but a process of breaking down the complexity of an activity into easier steps. So what you have done, that you have written the chapter heading here, then first heading, second heading, third heading, fourth heading, then first heading comprises of these. Okay, इनको further आप classify कर सकते हो and so on. Let me illustrate you with the help of example. Say this is a concept map of topic concept mapping. Just see concept map मैंने center में लिख दिया. Okay, now concept mapping may address affective domain, and affective objective is to do with feelings and values or interest, enjoyment, and that increases motivation, and motivation improves learning effectiveness and it increases the learning, and concept mapping is a kind of learning experience. So आपने पूरे चैप्टर को एक पेज में हेडिंग्स, सब हेडिंग्स और रिलेशनशिप के जरिए उसको डिस्प्ले कर दिया. So that will help the students retain the information for a longer period of time. यानी आप उसको रोट मेमोराइज नहीं कर रहे पूरे चैप्टर को, आप चैप्टर पढ़ने के बाद यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग सम काइंड ऑफ कॉन्सेप्ट मैप. So this will help you to retain the information for a longer. This is wonderful. And even यही जो concept map जो है ना, the teachers can carry to the classroom while teaching. They need not carry the bigger notes, so they can develop their lecture with the help of this concept map. It's a wonderful tool, and many research studies have been carried out on teaching the students with the help of concept maps and without the help of concept maps. And it has been found that students who were exposed to concept maps have obtained higher scores than as compared to students who were taught with the help of conventional teaching method. Okay, so this is a very important, you can say, tool, and this is a very handy tool in the hands of the teacher. Highlighting text, you can highlight the text material, topic, sentences, keywords, conclusions, but watch out, highlighting too much. बहुत कुछ highlight किया हुआ है, that will also confuse you. So highlighting too much cause you reread everything. तो आपने important चीजों को highlight करना है. अगर बहुत ज्यादा हर जगह लाइन लगा दी तो इसका मतलब अगली बार भी आपको वो सारे कुछ पढ़ना पड़ेगा. You have to highlight the important things only, because you don't know what's important. Highlight doesn't show you why you highlighting something. So आपको वहां पर हाथ से कुछ लिखना भी है, आपने जस्ट अंडरलाइन कर दिया, आप लिखिए ये पर्पस है या ऑब्जेक्टिव है या ये पैरामीटर है, ताकि बाद में आपको लोकेट करना आसान हो. So this is how you can use highlighting, and you need to have the entire text with you to review. रिव्यू करने के लिए आप दोबारा जो है टेक्स्ट आपके सामने होना चाहिए. तो दिस इज हाउ टू हाईलाइट द टेक्स्ट. ये मैं ऑलरेडी आपको बता चुका हूँ, आपको अपना आई स्पैन जो है वो कैसे इंक्रीज करना है. सो फ्रेंड्स, टुडे इन दिस सेशन वी हैव अंडरस्टूड दैट रीडिंग इज ए वेरी क्रूशियल स्किल. So one must learn to read in order to read to learn, because purpose of reading is to learn. So first of all, we must learn to read, and there are basically 5 types of reading. One is skimming, which is used for selecting the material as it provides the gist of the material. Scanning is used for searching the specifics, locating the specifics. Pleasure reading, then word by word reading, always in case of new language, equations or mathematical derivation. And then systematic approach to reading, which has got 5 stages. One is surveying, second is questioning, third is reading, fourth is recalling, fifth is reviewing. Okay, this is a systematic approach to reading. And then we have also shared with you the effective principles of reading very correctly. Okay, so if you have any question, you are welcome. आपके माइंड में कोई क्वेश्चन है, you are welcome. Yes. हाँ, आधा घंटा पढ़ना चाहिए. हम यूजली हैबिट हमारी है ही नहीं है रीडिंग के लिए. तो जब हमारी हैबिट ही नहीं है रीड करने के लिए, तो हम रीड क्या करेंगे? एटलीस्ट आधा घंटा या 1 घंटा, चाहे न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ें, थॉरली पढ़ें, बुक को भी पढ़ें. क्लास में जाने से पहले हम 2-3 जो है बुक्स का कंटेंट पढ़ें, फिर वो नोट्स जो हैं वो उनको कंसोलिडेट करें, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. सो anything you want to ask? My friends at various locations. Yes. Yes. Any question? Anything you want to supplement? You are welcome. Yes. If any one of you have got some good reading tip, he or she can share his or her experience with the other members. It will be very beneficial to all of us. Any good tip or any bad habit of reading? Yes. Any question, please? I suppose there are 10 centers connected to our institution. हाँ जी।
अभी आपने जो ग्रुप से रेडियो की थी बताइए, इसमें आपने समय को डिवाइड कर दिया है कि इतने समय में ये आपको रीड करना चाहिए, इतने में कंक्लूजन निकालना चाहिए, ये करना चाहिए। तो इसके लिए आपको जो अच्छी बुक्स है उसको इस्तेमाल लगाया जाए तो बेहतर अच्छा होगा। आप बच्चों को अच्छी बुक्स के बारे में बताएं तभी वो अच्छी बात समझ पाएंगे। नहीं तो अगर बच्चों के हाथ में अगर क्वालिटी की किताब नहीं लगेगी तो फिर भी वो आपका ये देखिए तो यही कोई भी किताब पर लागू कर देंगे। अच्छी बुक्स के बारे में भी आप जरूर बताएं।
बिल्कुल, आपने सर बहुत ठीक कहा कि सबसे पहले टीचर जो है वो सिलेक्ट करेंगे कौन सी बढ़िया बुक है, और सिलेक्शन प्रोसीजर मैंने आपको बताया, स्किमिंग है और स्कैनिंग है। और उसके बाद वो टीचर जो है वो स्टूडेंट्स को उस अच्छी बुक का रेफरेंस देंगे एंड स्टूडेंट्स विल रीड। और उसके बाद आप उनको SQ3R बताइए कि किस तरह से सिस्टमेटिकली उसको रीड करना है। आपने बिल्कुल सही सुझाव दिया कि अच्छी बुक का रेफरेंस जो है वो टीचर ही देंगे, और टीचर भी सेलेक्ट करेंगे विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्किमिंग। हाँ जी। और या yes, you see, you have some questions before reading, but when you are reading you are also formulating some question, or some doubts come to your mind. Okay, try to search for the solution to those doubts, because that solution is also available in the same chapter, or you can consult your teacher, or you can consult other sources also, because you are also forming question during reading, why he has written in this way, why he has not given the example, or the example is not relevant. So you can discuss with your friends, or you can discuss with your teacher, or you can also access to some other source, because some books are written in an abstract way, they are lacking the relevant examples. Correct? हाँ जी। Yes. Any other query or anything you want to supplement?
Hello,
हाँ yeah.
am I audible, sir?
हाँ जी बोलिए।
Hello, sir. I'm Jamuna calling from Northern India Engineering College.
हाँ जी।
Sir, actually there are two different types of reading: reading aloud and silent reading, which has
One
been
is
reading aloud and silent reading.
हाँ जी।
Okay, this has been practiced in schools, but when it comes to professional colleges, it's very difficult for us to make the student read in the class. Even if we just persist some students, only few students are capable of reading. Some students they don't want to come forward to read it aloud. Can you just give some suggestions to improve their reading skills?
I have already said that reading out loud is not a good reading habit. because that you are wasting your own time. Reading silently will help you remember the information for a longer period of time. So avoid distractions. So you can read silently very effectively. And you also need to read by employing SQ3R. That is, first read the whole chapter first, okay, close the chapter, and then try to find out the main points included in the chapters, and then you review whether those points were correctly you can say recalled or not. So it's a very systematic approach. कई बच्चे क्या करते हैं, पहला पैराग्राफ पढ़ा, दूसरे पैराग्राफ पे जाने से पहले ही वो पहले के पैराग्राफ को फिर दोबारा से पढ़ते हैं, तो दे रिपीट अगेन एंड अगेन. सो that will be only you can say rote memorization. Our idea is to understand the meaning of the material, and this is done when we read the whole chapter in one go and then close the book and try to recall the you can say main ideas or the subheadings, and then open the book and try to find out which you can say points which we could recollect wrongly or which we could not recollect. Yes. हाँ जी, और very difficult. So if there are no more questions, so then we close this particular session and we break for tea. Do we have another session after this session? No session. Okay, any more questions, please?
Hello.
Hanji.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Dr. Sara from RKGIT. Sir, in the beginning of the lecture, you had mentioned about 3 skills for personal growth that includes observation, listening, and reading.
Okay.
In listening, you had mentioned about using eyes and mind. And
eyes, mind, and ears.
Mind and ears. Sir, how much does observation and listening contribute to the reading process, or is it effective, or what is the overlap between the 3 of them for the reading process or reading skills?
I said in the beginning that all these 3 skills are very essential for personal growth, because observation we do every time. When we enter the classroom, we look at many things, not consciously, but we observe many things. Likewise, listening, we listen to our students, we listen to our colleagues, and listening is done throughout the day. And reading is also very important, because unless we read, we cannot improve our vocabulary, we cannot acquire the information. We acquire information through listening also, but reading also helps us in building our knowledge. So all the 3 skills are very essential for personal growth.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, welcome.
One more question from the RKGIT College of Pharmacy. Myself, Kumar Gupta. I asked question from MQ3R model. You are very elaborated very nicely for SQ3R model, and you ask go to the proper to this model is proper for those students who are going to the library or follow the teacher, reference book or textbook. But those students, I personally feel 30% or 40% students are not go to the library and go to the teacher for the asking question from material from the which reference book and which textbook. They are going to the local market purchases books or any guides. They are not go to the reference national or international book. So I personally feel what will you do for those students?
Okay, sir, you see, students are not aware about various reading styles. So firstly, you make them aware about this SQ3R, whether they read a reference book or some good standard textbook or say cheap book. The SQ3R formula can be applied for reading any book. Now you must encourage them that first read the whole chapter, okay, thoroughly, okay, in one go, without reading again and again the first paragraph or the second paragraph, close the book and try to note down the important points which they could recall. क्योंकि जितना वो रिकॉल करेंगे बुक को बंद करके, उसके बाद जब आपने बुक बंद करके आपने लिखकर रिकॉल किया या आपने बोलकर रिकॉल किया, तो उसके बाद बुक को दोबारा खोलें, फिर ऐड करेंगे कौन से पॉइंट्स मेरे रह गए, फिर वो दोबारा से एक रीडिंग लें, तो दूसरी रीडिंग के बाद उसके जो रिकॉलिंग है वो प्रॉपर हो जाएगी। तो बच्चे जो हैं वो सिर्फ रट्टा ही लगाना चाहते हैं, तो ये हमारी ड्यूटी बनती है कि हम उनको थोड़ा सा जैसे क्लास में पढ़ा रहे हैं, पढ़ाते पढ़ाते 2-4 मिनट रह गए, हाँ 5 मिनट रह गए, तो कभी कभी ये जो इनफॉर्मल जो टॉक हैं ये हम कर सकते हैं उनके साथ कि हाउ टू इम्प्रूव आवर ओन रीडिंग, तो ये बीच में करना चाहिए।
ओके सर, थैंक यू।
वेलकम।
हेलो सर।
हाँ जी।
Thank you, question from RKGIT. So there is a habit of a student to chewing or chewing gums or tobacco. Is it any reason to overcome from these problems?
I could not. Please repeat it.
Sir, there is a problem of chewing of tobacco or chewing gums of students.
हाँ.
Can we overcome from this problem when they are studies?
सर ऐसा है कि जब आप नोटिस करें तो आप उनको बोल सकते हो कि भाई ये जो है क्लास के बाहर करिए, लेकिन आप कैसे उनको बोलेंगे, ये तो एक इनफॉर्मल वे में बोला जा सकता है दैट दिस इज नॉट द राइट वे टू कम इन द क्लासरूम। तो च्युइंगम खाना तो है वो आप कैसे उनको रोकेंगे, बट आप उनको बोल सकते हैं कि भाई दिस विल नॉट be welcome in my class। तो इससे रीडिंग भी अफेक्ट होती है। when you are eating something and you are reading, it means you are spending too much time, so that is wasting it means you are wasting your valuable time।
Okay sir, thank you।
हाँ जी, okay जी। so thank you friends, if you have any question। हाँ जी। हाँ जी। अच्छा, आपके कोई क्वेरी है आप पूछ लीजिए, या आप कोई ऐड करना चाहते हैं, सप्लीमेंट करना चाहते हैं, आप कर दीजिए।
जैसे हमने कहा कि हमें एक पैसेज को बार-बार चैप्टर को रीड आउट करना चाहिए, लेकिन कई बार क्या होता है कि हम चैप्टर मतलब कोई पैसेज रीड करते हैं, उसमें अगर कोई पॉइंट हमें समझ नहीं आता तो हम उस पैसेज को बार-बार रिपीट करते हैं, क्या ये सही है?
देखिए ऐसा है मैम, अगर जहां आपको समझ नहीं आता वहां पर हल्का सा क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा लीजिए और अपने टीचर से या अपने फ्रेंड से उसको डिस्कस कीजिए, या आप कोई और सोर्स बुक ले लीजिए या नेट पे जाइए, उस पॉइंट को लेके उस नेट में डालेंगे, यू विल गेट गुड इन्फॉर्मेशन, मे बी यू विल गेट सम एग्जांपल्स। तो इस तरह से आप जो है उसको लर्न कर सकते हो। तो वहां पर क्वेश्चन मार्क लगा दीजिए, उसको हाईलाइट कर दीजिए कि दिस पॉइंट इज नॉट क्लियर टू मी। ओके,
हेलो सर, प्लीज प्रॉब्लम हमारी सॉल्व करवा दीजिए कि दूसरे सेंटर्स की आवाज हमारे तक रीच हो।
ठीक है मैम, मैं आपको कह देता हूँ, आप प्लीज इसको हेल्प करिए, ठीक है। So okay friends, हाँ जी।
Sir, just now there was a question from RKGIT college regarding that someone questioned that some students have the habit of chewing pan masala or chewing gum while reading. Means when they read, they have this habit to have something in their mouth. So is it advisable to ask the students to avoid this?
It is not advisable. Yes, it is advisable to stop this kind of you can say bad practice। आप इनको कैसे कह सकते हो कि भाई आप पढ़ रहे हो, बोल कर पढ़ रहे हो, ये आपकी सांस की नाली में भी जा सकता है, एंड इट ऑल्सो स्लोज डाउन योर रीडिंग स्पीड। क्योंकि जब हम मुंह में कुछ रख के पढ़ते हैं तो हमारी रीडिंग स्पीड जो है वो कम हो जाती है। अगर अपनी रीडिंग स्पीड को एनहांस करना चाहते हैं तो हमें साइलेंटली पढ़ना है, ताकि थोड़े समय में आप ज्यादा पढ़ पाओ।
Some students use to listen music while reading.
तो ये मैम आप उनको समझाइए ना कि भी ऐसा करने से आपका टाइम जो है वो ज़्यादा वेस्ट हो रहा है। जैसे मैंने कुछ आपको बोला था, लिप रीडिंग है, वोकलाइजेशन है या रिग्रेशन है, ऐसा करने से जो है स्टूडेंट का टाइम बहुत वेस्ट होता है। तो रीडिंग स्पीड एनहांस करने के लिए ये सब नहीं चलेगा।
Okay, sir. So one more thing, in the section that how do effective readers read, you mentioned a point that use different speeds and strategies. Can you please elaborate strategies, the various strategies you mentioned about?
Which strategy? For
In one section, the heading was how do effective readers read. You mentioned that means effective readers must use different speeds and strategies.
yes, yes. You
So
see,
what are the various strategies you are talking about?
strategies I have already discussed. You see, uh, for selecting a particular book, you employ skimming as a reading strategy, because this will give you the gist of the material. For finding quickly whether this the information on atom is available. So what you do, you search for the word atom, you scan for the word atom. So it means you are doing scanning. But when you want to read it thoroughly, then you employ SK through R. So these are different strategies.
Thank you, sir.
Skimming for getting the gist of the material, scanning for getting the specifics.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, ji, welcome.
Very good afternoon, sir. Hello.
Please.
Very good afternoon, sir. I'm Dr. Vishal Srivastava from RPGIT College, Ghaziabad.
हाँ जी.
First of all, thanks a lot for this enlightening session. But my question is that whatever you told to us, that is already related with the person who is interested to read. But is there any technique how we can motivate a person to get involved in reading more and get enriched himself or herself? Is there any strategy or technique so we can apply to our students or to ourselves also to create or motivate the students for the reading habit?
So what you can do is you can employ seminar as a method of teaching in the classroom. So you select one topic and divide that topic into say 8 to 10 parts. Distribute those 8 to 10 parts among 8 to 10 volunteers, and then ask them to prepare their write-ups. Have a one day before the seminar session, you look at the write-ups of the students and provide them feedback. Now on the seminar day, they will read out their respective input, and teacher's role is to supplement. So in this way, reading practice can be you can say developed. So in foreign countries, maximum you can say this particular seminar method is mostly employed in imparting instruction. Teachers are not using the conventional method of teaching. So I say only take one topic.
Sir, thank you a lot. But it's a process of a group. But can we do something for individual person?
For a which person?
For individual, not for group.
For individual, you see, you can give some kind of assignment and give them some resource material, or give them the reference of resource material, and ask them to do the in-depth study and try to find out. जैसे case studies होते हैं. So what you can do is you can give them some case studies, tell them to read this case and try to find out the answer of few cases by reading the case. So यहाँ थोड़ा सा एफर्ट हमारे पार्ट पे आता है, हमने स्टूडेंट्स को मोटिवेट करना है, तो हम उनको कुछ केसेस जो है वो लाके दे सकते हैं, so that they can read it और उसका solution उसमें से ढूंढे. There are many ways.
My question is that if suppose I am a person, I am a case, I am not interested to read a lot, and if I wish to motivate myself, for such motivation, how to improve my reading habit? So is something any tool or technique I have to adopt by which I can motivate?
ऐसा है, मैं अपने आप को रीडिंग इम्प्रूव में तभी करूंगा if I have got some purpose in my life. मेरा लाइफ का पर्पस है that I want to do PhD. It means I must read many literature. I need to identify the topic. वो उसके लिए क्या मुझे I have to read, I have to go through the literature. मेरे को मेरा पर्पस ही लाइफ का नहीं मालूम तो मैं क्या रीड करूंगा, मेरा तो उसके बिना ही काम चल रहा है.
So at least it's a highly intrinsic person from itself has to be motivated.
So any other person from other institution can answer to this question?
मोटिवेट नहीं है बच्चों को.
हाँ जी बोलिए. हाँ जी, वो टीचर ने ही एजुकेट करना है, जैसा आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा है. तो आप उनको बताइए कि रीडिंग के क्या पर्पसेस हैं और किस तरह से हम अपनी स्पीड को वेरी कर सकते हैं ताकि थोड़े समय में हम ज्यादा मैटर पढ़ लें, क्योंकि एग्जामिनेशन में तो पढ़ के ही हमें रिप्रोड्यूस करना है. हाँ जी, हाँ जी. ठीक है जी, ठीक है. Okay then, thank you very much.
Well, on behalf of all the participants sitting at the various centers and also in my studio, I'd like to express my deepest sense of gratitude to Dr. Sunil Daji, who has taken a topic on developing reading skills effectively. This is a very, very important topic. I was just joining in the class towards the end. One of the things which came to my mind was how to read is very important. To generate the reading habits among the students is another problem now we are facing. As the time is passing, we are finding that the reading habits are not there in the students. For that purpose, right from the childhood, right from the primary classes or secondary classes, this habit has to be cultivated. And if they are not cultivated at that stage, maybe even at the polytechnic level or the engineering level, you can cultivate these habits. What I would normally suggest, based on my own personal experiences with my own children and the students whom I teach, that you can always start with some having interesting books, interesting to the student, and the students' interests are varying. If there are a class of 60 students, there can be 60 varying interests. So kindly enrich your library. There should be some substance for every reader. Once they are habitual of reading, then they will start reading. That habit has to be developed. With the passage of time, we are finding that habit is dying. The reading habits are dying. People are now saying that, okay, why should we read? We will download this thing from Google or from this. I was today in the newspaper reading that Orkut has already gone. Orkut's website has already gone, and probably it may be very shocking that in September 30th, on 30th September, most probably Google will also go. It was a very big shock to me and maybe to all the person, but there is a move that the Google may also go. We are dependent too much on the ready-made cooked information that has taken us away from the reading basically. That reading habit has to be cultivated, and good textbooks, good interesting books may not be pertaining to your subject matter, but other books can be included in the curriculum or on the co-curricular activities, or they should be at least available in the library. The teachers in the classroom should not only give the references to the books pertaining to their subjects, but the books they have studied other than the subject area. Maybe out of the class of 60 students, maybe 5 or 6 students may be interested in reading the book which is recommended by the teacher. And similarly, if there are 10 teachers, there will be about 20-30 recommended books by the teachers. And similarly, the efforts are required on the part of the parents also. Thank you once again, Dr. Sood. You have taken this, Dr. Sunil Daji, you have taken this very, very elaborately. I am sure that both the teachers and the student will be highly benefited by this session on how to read. We often normally end up having wrong reading habits, and then when we want to read, let us say, in-depth reading, we just skim, and when we have to only skim, we go for the in-depth readings. That fundamentals are made very, very clear by all of you. And before we call it a day, I have few announcements to make. Number one is that I have sent a registration form to all the centers, registration and attendance form. That form has to be filled by all the teachers who are attending the program, and you also have to maintain a daily attendance. Daily attendance you have to send me at the end of the program. That attendance and registration form which I sent to you, that is done only for once from the first day itself. Whosoever are registered with us, based on the registration, we will be issuing the certificates, and the bills will be worked out based on the number of people who are in the program. And the second observation is that I am finding that in some of the centers the attendance is very thin. If we will find that people are not attending, we are able to see each and everybody, each and every head count from here at from our studios. If we find that your people are not attending the, I'm sorry, I had to point out to two centers today. I will not name them here, but I had to point out two centers that their attendance was very, very thin. Kindly, I will request the coordinators and the respective directors and principals to kindly make sure that the timings are observed, and whosoever registers with us for this program should be attending all the sessions. We have arranged, and the tea timings and the lunch time will give you enough time. 15 or 20 minutes of time, tea time is good enough. We also, from this studio, we also go out and have tea and come back. We also go out for the lunch and come back. Kindly make sure that attendance is proper and people observe the timing. For example, this particular hall, only one person is there. You can all see yourself also. Thank you very much. And tomorrow we are having very, very interesting sessions coming up. Kindly make sure that attendance is full. We'll be starting with the oral communication by Dr. P.K. Tulsi tomorrow morning, followed by a very important session on listening skills. And in the afternoon, in the writing skills, Madam Sudhiti Jindal is going to deal with the how letter writing, agenda of a meeting, minutes of the meetings, grammar, and things, very important components about the writing skills also. So well friends, with these words, I thank one and all for your cooperation, and we meet tomorrow sharp at 9:30.